Thanks for tuning in to another All the Feelings joint.
Want to skip those pesky ads and get early access?
Become a member at allthefeelings.fun/join and discover all the other great perks that come with it.
Jazz.
All the Feelings presents
Still Adulting.
this episode.
It's Medicine Day.
Welcome back to All the Feelings, Still Adulting. Can you believe it? It is episode 1107, and Pete, we've got a real humdinger. We've been doing a lot of grab bag episodes. This one is very of the same ilk, both segments. Do you want to talk about what it is, or do we want to keep that a great big secret?
I don't know if I want to talk about what it is, because this one, of all of our topic pairings, this is the one that if we weren't stronger and more confident adults, we would probably think makes us seem really older than we are. You're
saying that instead of the Greek gods that we usually are, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, they're both Dax Shepherds," and how do they like see the microphone over their own muscles? This is going to make us seem feeble and falter.
Yes, yeah, that's what this one is. How old is Dax Shepard? I think we're right around the same age.
Are you looking it up? This is exciting.
Of course I am. He's 51.
All right.
51 years old, Dax Shepard. Yeah.
So that makes sense why he and I have so much in common. We both love cars. We both love pull-ups.
Yeah.
I think I eat a lot of raw meat. I don't know really what he does. I used to listen to his show all the time. I haven't listened to it in a while.
Well, it's back now in a place you can listen to it. You don't have to be a Spotify person or whatever. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Anyway. What? No, this isn't the Dax Shepard episode?
No. No.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be really great. Dax, we'll take you. If you're ever interested in doing a guest spot, Dax Shepard, friend of the show, you can join us. Yeah, you can
do like the feeling friends.
You can be our third
segment.
Anytime.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
So why do you think that maybe people are going to think we're weebles wobble and we all fall down because of this topic?
Think about the coolest people you know. I mean, the coolest people you know. Do any of them have Monday through Sunday pill holders?
Yeah, I get it. Yes, we are talking about medications and prescriptions and pharmacies and preventative care. This is it. This is the one where you find out that we're all just a big rickety bundle of bones. And hopefully we're not alone. This is the one where we find out that we're alone and we're the only ones.
This is the answer. Yes. We should get a domain like rpeteandtommyalone.com. And it's just yes.
That's it. That'll be easy.
Yep.
Squarespace can take the day off. Yeah, this is the one. I mean, we got to talk about it. This is the one like taxes, medication and taxes. That's what's coming for all of us. And so we wanted to talk about it. So I guess we should just, let's crack open whatever day it is on your week-long pill container. And who wants to go first?
I think it's going to be me.
Okay, go for it.
Subset 1.
Maybe take your pills.
Tom, how often do you spend time in the pharmacy? Like, how often do you find you have to go to the pharmacy? You go. Does Ralph's have a pharmacy? Do you go into your Ralph's, or do you have to go?
Oh, Ralph's has got my pharmacy. Yeah,
okay.
Ralph's has a pharmacy. They're great. They're very sweet. They started this I don't know if this is universal or everyone has this, but they started this automatic refill thing.
Yeah.
I used to call in and do refills, but now it's automatic. And so I don't get to pick when I pick up my pills. And so I just get texts and they're like, pills again. And I try to like let them sit there for a while because I don't want to be Johnny Pills a lot. But there is one of the pharmacists. There's a team back there. And when I go up, she says, "Hello, Mr. Tom." And I feel it's sweet, but also like, right. I don't know if I want my pharmacist who is not like, I don't live in Derry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I want my pharmacist to know my name.
You just pull her aside and say, I just need you to call me from here on, no matter what you see on the prescription. Just call me Mr. October. That's how I'd like to be known from here on. You need an alias. That's what I'm saying.
Got it. Okay. I didn't know if that was a reference to something. That seemed very specific. I like
No,
Mr.
it was very
October.
specific. It was a bit that didn't work. Sometimes I do jokes for me.
That's
just
fine.
for me.
What I do is I pick up all of my pills for the year in October, and I just have so many pills.
See,
Yeah, so
you put a hat
so I
on
guess
it.
the
That's good.
answer to your question is more often than I would want because
Yeah.
they're sort of spread out. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm in the middle of a nightmare pharmacy loop. Everybody's been there, I'm sure, right? You get the text, I get the text too, and sometimes I acknowledge it and I push one to confirm or whatever, and
Mhm.
they send me another text that says it's ready, and then after what seems like about 3 hours, they say, "Are you still coming?" And
Yeah,
and then if I say yes, I'm still coming, then they give me like 6 days, right? But you first, it feels like that urgency is get over here. The pharmacist is like waiting to talk to you.
right.
And I hate that. Like I hate that feeling. And I'm in the middle of a nightmare pharma loop because the pharmacy for some reason needs to do this pre-authorization with the doctor, and the doctor needs to approve and send a fax, and the fax has to go
Oh,
back to someplace else, and they're doing all this dance, and I'm just not
wait,
getting.
really? A fax?
Yeah, yeah,
Why
I'm
is
not
that?
lying to you. It's a fax. Yeah,
Okay, all
for
right.
drugs. Jacks for drugs should be on a shirt. So I actually just switched to Amazon as a result. Like there is no problem. They just send me my drugs in the mail, and I'm very happy with that. There's no
Wow. Okay.
texts. I mean, there is a
Yeah.
text if you want it, but it's just my Amazon account. It's amazing. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about that is because I know that the situation, if people who take more drugs than I do, uh, the situation is not easy dealing with the trifecta of insurance, pharmacy, and your physicians plural,
Yeah.
right? It's hard
Yeah.
to do this. So, no judgment. Whatever you do to make it work is awesome to make it work. Here's the thing I find interesting.
Okay.
The World Health Organization and the
Hmm.
CDC both report the following: that roughly half of all patients with chronic conditions do not take their medication as prescribed.
Why?
Talk to me about that, right? That
Wait,
is
over half?
over half.
Huh.
1 in 5 new prescriptions are never filled at all.
Oh, I don't understand.
I don't
Okay.
understand that either, right? So it surprises you. This surprises you.
Yes.
It surprised the hell
Yes,
out of
it
me.
does. Yeah.
So it turns out that there are many reasons why this
Mm.
happens. Many
Okay.
reasons. And the biggest one is what they call this is not a clever name, so whoever came up with it is just like reading words. The asymptomatic problem, or I should
Oh,
say the asymptomatic problem,
great.
right? So it turns out the biggest driver isn't cost or forgetfulness or anything like that. It's that most chronic conditions produce no symptoms.
Sure. It's like the blood pressure effect. You
Mhm.
can't really feel your blood pressure. And so
Yeah.
don't they call it like the silent
Silent
killer?
killer. Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
or they call it like Mr. October? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Excellent. Call back. That's twice you've called that back, and I'm very excited about it. Hypertension, high cholesterol, your blood sugar, like none of
Sure.
these hurt right up until the moment they do, and then they kill you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the reasons people don't take their pills. They feel like they don't need their pills. And every day you skip a pill and nothing bad happens, and your body is suddenly actively lying to you about what it
Mm.
needs in its silence. It is complicit in you deciding not to take it. The other piece, the other side of this is that some people take their medication, which gives them the strength to feel they don't need their medication anymore,
Sure. Yeah.
right? That's the
That
other
can be a
piece of
big
it.
thing I know in mental health medication a lot.
Yeah,
That you take the pill and it makes you feel like you don't need the pill anymore. Yeah.
right. And so this is all bundled up in the word we call. Do we do that? No. This
Everyone
is all
does.
wrapped up in the term adherence. Adherence
Okay.
is the stickiness of the practice to the desired outcome, right?
Mm,
The practice of taking pills to improve your health in some way, shape, or form. And non-adherence, if there is any lesson to this, these statistics, non-adherence is rational feeling in the moment. even when it isn't in the long term, right?
Got it.
Non-adherence is rational in the moment, even when it isn't ultimately. So there are other reasons that people don't take their pills. Fear of side effects. I don't know. Do you have side effects on that you are aware of on your medications?
I'm going to be talking about that one that I took before that
Okay.
maybe you have taken too. I'm not sure, where
Yeah.
the side effects were the feature, not the bug. Like it
Yeah.
was all side effects.
Uh-huh.
That's all it was.
Uh-huh. I
Yeah.
had one that actually I was taking regularly, and we were trying to get me off of it. And the side effect of getting off of it was vastly worse than any of the side effects of being on it. And
Oh,
that was it
and
when you
that drug
tried.
was cocaine. Oh, no.
It said when you try to get off of it, there is a non-zero chance that you will feel as if you are getting electrical signals to your brain, like you're being electrocuted to your brain.
Wow.
Yeah, that can be
Okay.
uncomfortable.
Wow.
Electricity in your brain. So yeah, the fear of side effects. Like research shows that patients often worry more about the side effects than the
Sure.
disease itself, and they attribute completely unrelated symptoms to the medication, to the act of
Mm,
taking the medication, which is incredibly destructive for things that we have medical, like pharmaceutical cures for, right? The things you should be taking the medication for.
yeah.
Um, then there are some emotional reasons people don't take their pills, like taking a pill every day means admitting that you have a condition every day, right?
Sure.
It is this psychological toll that we do not talk about enough, that they certainly don't talk to you about at the little window in the pharmacy. And that is really important, that you are in a state of denial when this
That's
is
interesting.
hitting
I
you.
never thought about that because, like, yeah, every morning you're like doing a little failure swallow.
Yes, right. And that's a choice.
Yeah.
Looking at it that way is ultimately a choice and requires a reframe. Cost is obviously real and significant and worth naming because, saying the loud part out loud, our health system in the United States is
Is
fundamentally broken.
perfect. Oh, what?
And yeah, right. It's foundationally broken,
Yeah.
and the fact that we're in this right tete-a-tete with insurance and physicians, and nobody
Right.
likes each other. It's just a really ugly playground, and so some people are genuinely rationing or skipping their medication because
Yeah.
they cannot afford to fill them. Okay. And then finally, executive function. I got to bring up executive function. Like a refill requires multiple steps across multiple systems. There's phones and texts and apps and pharmacy and insurance, and it's not one task. It is like
Fax machines, apparently.
16 fax machines for sure are
Teletype.
involved. Yeah, maybe teletype, some Morse code, and
Mhm.
all of those things require your executive function to be on lock. And if any of the medications that you're on and that you need involve helping you focus and getting your executive function locked down, just getting the drugs themselves is an exercise in meta terror, because
Right.
you aren't medicated to give you the skills that you need to get the medication. Horrible.
Can
Totally
I
get it.
share a really, really quick story
I
that
hope you
this
do.
makes me think of?
Yeah.
Uh, I went, and I won't say what the medication was. It wasn't anything very interesting, but it's something that I've been taking for a long time. And I went to a new pharmacy. I don't remember why. Either way, I went to a new pharmacy and they gave it to me in the bag and I paid for it and I left. And when I got home, I looked at the bottle and it was enormous. And each pill was the size of my dog Foster and they were bright red. And none of this is what the pill usually looked like. None of it.
Wow.
So I went back to the pharmacy and I said, "Did they switch the medications?" And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, here's what you gave me, and here's what I was trying to get filled." The pharmacist, and this was, yes, the first and last time I went to this pharmacy, looked at the bottle, looked at the pills. Her eyes got very big and then very small and said, "Huh, let me just double check this."
Oh my God.
Went back and then gave me the pills that looked like the pills that. So to this day, I do not know what they gave me, but they gave me 50 of them, and her eyes went crazy big as if like they just gave me, like, I don't know, 50 cyanide pills.
I think that is fascinating, and that is a thing that I have heard a lot. And you dive into the customer service, like Reddit feeds about certain pharmacies, and it's really, really dark. There are people who have some very
Sure.
truly damaged relationships with their pharmacies because of exactly this kind of stuff. Let me tell you what the internet says might have been the thing that you got.
Oh,
Rifampin or rifampicin. 300 milligram capsules fit the description. Large, distinctly red maroon capsules that are quite recognizable. They are used primarily to treat tuberculosis and meningococcal prophylaxis. A pharmacist would be quite nervous about this dispensing error because it's given to close contacts of meningitis cases as a short prophylactic course. Giving to the wrong patient could mean someone who actually needed it didn't get it in time. Okay. It has significant drug interactions. It can dramatically reduce the effectiveness of many medications, including birth control, anticoagulants, and HIV drugs. And it turns bodily fluids orange red, which can be alarming, and stain contact lenses.
What? They really pulled the ripcord at the very end.
They were trying to food color you, and they didn't quite get there. I'm glad you caught it. You could be very, very tan right now. Anyway, it is. I mean, the idea that there is just so much room for error is really horrifying, and I one of those that I think you totally get, because once you've been burned by your pharmacy letting you down by giving you the wrong medication, it's hard to build trust again, and that is yet another reason people don't take the drugs they need. The emotional truth is that yes, a refill is a repeated act of acknowledging dependency on something that you likely didn't choose, right? Mm-hmm. I'm on blood pressure medication. After I had COVID, my blood pressure went through the roof, and we could not figure out how to bring it down. I'm on a little pill every day, and just to keep my system from totally overstressing. And I absolutely hate that that's where I am right now, that it just makes me feel like a certain guy I never thought I would be. And yet I am dependent on it right now. I have a new doctor who says, I think we can get you off of this slowly, but right now you've got to stay on it. We've got to figure this out, the right way.
Sure.
So I think there is a story we tell ourselves about adulting, that what it means to be a competent adult never has a lot of room for, I need this pill on a schedule indefinitely, right? It's like heroic moments where we're buying and selling real estate and stuff. I don't know what adults do, but it never really includes, hey, we need to slow down and do our pill regimen. And yet everybody I know has the day-by-day pill container. Yeah. Everybody I know, to keep track of it. So I think it's worth sitting with it, and not to wallow in it, not to just be with it, because modern medicine exists for a reason, right? To keep us healthy and chugging along, to live vital lives and continue to contribute as long as we can on this mortal coil. And it's important. It's important to be aware. It's important to understand drug interactions. Yes, all of those things, but also, if you go through the tests and your doctor says, hey, this is a thing, maybe you want to consider not being one of the stats who never fills that prescription, because, I have my next door neighbor. I've talked about my bowl, my bowl. I made a bowl. Huh? I didn't show you my bowl. Oh, it's the most proud thing I've ever done. I made a bowl on a lathe out of wood, because my next door neighbor is a true artisan, and also, is on a drug for his blood cancer that has kept him alive 6 years after they said he would be long gone. Wow. And I, as a dear friend and my next door neighbor, I am deeply grateful to these medicines, these pills that keep him alive and thriving.
Just because you got a bowl out of it.
Because I got a bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is there to live for?
The Pharmacy Question by Pat Adams. She said at the pharmacy counter, My husband's Viagra needs renewed. She asked the man if they sold it there. He told her that they certainly do. She asked if he had ever used it himself. He told her he had and was a big fan. She asked, "Can you get it over the counter?" He said, "If I take a lot, I probably can."
My medicine cabinet is a timeline of everyone I was definitely going to become. There is vitamin D from when I was going to get serious about my health, and there's melatonin from when I was going to absolutely fix my sleep. And in the back, which is behind the dental floss that I only recently figured out how to use every day, is a prescription bottle with 17 pills in it from a doctor's visit I barely remember for a version of me who apparently did not finish the job, and now the label has rubbed off. I don't even know what it is. I know. We're probably all right there. But here's what I've been thinking about lately. Every time I pick up a new prescription, the pharmacist slides this document across the counter. And I use the word document loosely. It is a broadsheet. It is a manifesto. It is, I believe, longer than the Magna Carta and considerably more frightening because at least the Magna Carta never warned me about spontaneous tendon rupture. The attendant looks up and asks, would you like to talk to a pharmacist? Do you have any questions? And I say, no. I have never said yes. I have never read a single word of that paper. I fold it in half. I put it in the bag. I carry it home. I shred it to hide all the evidence. And then I just start taking the drugs every single time. And here's the thing. I used to feel really bad about that, like I was failing at some basic adult responsibility. The scroll exists to inform me, I'd say to myself. I'm just not being informed. Except it turns out the scroll was never really for me. The first patient package insert the FDA ever required was in 1968. One warning, one drug. It said, "Don't overuse this inhaler." That was it. What we have now, the pages, the side effect avalanche, the if you experience suicidal thoughts while taking this antihistamine, that grew out of something called the learned intermediary doctrine. This is the legal argument that a drug company's duty to warn runs to your doctor, not to you, because information is too complex for your regular, feeble person brain to parse. So the paper isn't for you. It's a legal shield. It's a pharmacist asking any questions, which is not the beginning of a conversation. It's the end of the liability chain. You are a final checkbox in a liability chain, the last place the responsibility lands before it becomes yours. And we all play our part so perfectly, every single time. No questions. Fold, bag, shred, drugs. Honestly, that might be the most efficient performance of adult competence I have ever witnessed. We are very good at pretending we have it together, even when the system was designed from the beginning to never actually need us to. Do you want a little more all the feelings in your life? Just like your pharmacist, I don't really need an answer. Become a feeling friend today. You'll get a private members-only podcast feed with extended versions of every episode, member-only extras, and our full trailer archive. Basically, more show, fewer ads, and good weird stuff we can't always fit in public. It's $35 a year, $25 to renew, and directly keeps this season of All the Feelings going. Head over to allthefeelings.fun and join us today. And now, on with the show.
Subset 2.
Maybe it's time to de-pill.
Pete, we're talking about pills. And because of the subject matter, I wanted to start off this segment in kind of like a time release capsule kind
good.
of formula. I want to give you two instances over time of my life that I had slightly more traumatic experiences of medication. And this will all lead to a point, maybe. The first real pill that I remember taking was probably in the 4th or 5th grade. My dad had suffered a seizure in bed one night, and I had already been experiencing what I was calling dizzy spells, where I would sort of lose focus. And so they were worried that maybe whatever my dad had was hereditary, because I would have these dizzy spells a lot when I was exposed to strobe lights, which I remember, I think it was the generation that I was. There was a lot of strobe lights. I feel like strobe light technology, everyone, like every Spencer's gift you would walk in, there was just constant strobe lights.
Big
And so I would just
sleepover
sort of,
energy. Yeah.
very much so. And I had a strobe light, which was terrible because I was also on medication. Either way, um, that no one ever used the word around me back then, but I assume what they were worried about was that I might have epilepsy.
Epilepsy, right?
And so I did a bunch of tests, and it ended up for me taking a daily medication every day for years, and it was called Tegretol. And these were small and pink, not huge and red.
Okay.
And I would have to take it at lunch. I don't know why. That's when you take it. Why was this slightly traumatic? Because it became a joke from some of the other kids at my school lunch table. They would call them my birth control pills. Hey, Tommy's
Jesus.
taking his birth control pills. These are the same wonderkins that came up with the moniker Tom W. Metz the Turd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Real brain trust going there at lunch.
They were really ahead of the class.
Yeah.
So that sucked. That's number one. Number two is when I turned 30, I think it was 30, my body was like, who's had it a little bit too easy this whole time? You. And for no reason, I developed severe cystic acne.
At
And
30.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
talked to my doctor and I was like, why? And they're like, we don't know. And it was just localized to a few parts of my face. It wasn't all over the place, but it was pretty severe in that it didn't look like acne. Instead, when I hadn't seen people in a long time, they would see me and go, oh my God, what happened? Like you wouldn't say that to someone who looked like a pizza
Yeah.
face,
Yeah.
but instead it looked like a chemical burn. Friend of the show, JJ Yeager, put it in a very honestly sympathetic way when he said he was so sorry because it looked like it hurt all the time. And it kind of did. I don't have a lot of, just as a side note, I realized I was going to give a picture for you to put up. I don't have a lot of pictures of me
I
during
imagine
that
that
time.
was pretty dry. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if I did that subconsciously or maybe everyone just cropped me out. Like I just don't have, I know it happened, but I don't have pictures. Either way, had a dermatologist and tried a bunch of different pills and ointments. And I think I saw a witch in the forest at one point. Either way, we finally chose what the dermatologist called, quote, the nuclear option. Do you know what the nuclear option is?
The nuclear option is Accutane, Tom.
Accutane. Were you on Accutane?
I was.
You were. So we have talked about this.
Yeah. Well, personally, we've talked about this.
Yeah, not on the podcast. Okay.
Yeah, because it destroyed me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, this drug is no joke.
No
It
joke.
dries you out. Something fierce. Sometimes when I would smile, oh God, it's so gross. I could feel my skin crackle.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I remember is there were so many warnings about the side effects. You had talked about side effects before. This is what I was going to say, like vision loss and liver damage and behavior changes and birth defects. I think there was something called the bleedies. Like it was just horrific.
I had the bleedies. I bled out my ears and my eyeballs.
Are you serious?
I literally would cry blood in the mornings. I was so dry. Every pore was so dry. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Again, I should always let you go first.
No.
I didn't have anything that big.
But either way, it's that serious of a drug. Like it is a non-trivial. Yeah.
And I know this isn't true, but I have a sense memory of when I would open a new container of it or like the package.
Yeah.
I would hear those radiation clicks that a guy would come in. I know that's not
Totally
true,
get it. Yeah.
but it just felt like so dangerous and weird.
Yeah.
But it worked and it never came back. Like I was on it for a while and then it worked and that was it. So
cystic acne is scared of Accutane. It's like its only predator.
Right. It's kryptonite and it's literally kryptonite, but it's kryptonite for your face holes. Well, That's a partial walk of my medicine misery. Other than Accutane, do you have something that you either are on or were on that you feel comfortable talking? Like
Okay.
a particular pill we were like, it doesn't have to be about side effects. It can just be like, I didn't want to, you already talked about like BP meds and stuff.
When I was a young man, I had a condition that I don't remember. I do not remember why I needed this particular drug.
Oh,
But I remember going to the doctor and saying, you need to take this 5 times. I said, okay. And he showed me the pill, and the pill was like an inch and a half long.
ooh,
And I
horse
said,
pill.
I'm not swallowing that. I mean, I was 14, so I was in the office with my dad, and he said, "Oh no, you don't take this with your mouth."
Oh,
It
downstairs.
was
Yep.
it was a suppository, Tom, and
Yep.
it was very traumatic for me as a 14-year-old. Very traumatic. They
When you
he,
ran out of them. Because something was unlocked. I get it. No, I bet. Yeah, no, I've been through that too. It's rough.
It
Yeah.
is like they did the first one in the office for me,
Oof. Yeah.
just to
Fun.
demonstrate like how far up there you got to go. But then I had to do the others like at noon or something. So I was going into the school bathroom for a week
Oh,
and doing the old self insert. And I mean, it was
we both
traumatic.
had lunchtime.
Yeah.
Weirdness.
Well,
Why was
nobody
why
witnessed
was
me
everything
doing it.
lunch? Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why.
That is
I,
good that you thought to go to the restroom and not just do it at the lunch table.
excuse me, everybody. I'll use my right hand.
I'll trade you, my sandwich for your Cheetos. Yeah. Okay, so we both had our, and I'm sure everyone, if you, of course, feeling friends, non-feeling friends, if you ever want to share any of your pill traumatic stuff or medicine traumatic, hit us
Just
up
tell
at
us about your medical
allthefeelings.fun.
nooners. We're down for
Yeah,
lunchtime medical
yeah,
trauma. Yeah.
yeah, and then we'll shred them. Well, you sort of went through the idea of tips and tricks and what keeps you from taking pills as an adult. I'm not going to go through the tips and tricks of like how to remember to take pills as an adult. Those are all found easily online. Although I did, there's an American government website for the National Institute of Health and Aging, and I did see the list of things here are the tips and tricks to remember to take pills and how to do it. There's just 2 I want to bring up.
Okay.
Number 1, this is a government website. Number 1, it says, follow directions. Yeah. Don't take a larger dose or all the medication at once, thinking it will help you more. Wow. That is the opposite of your thing, which is don't even get it filled. Just
My
take a
God.
huge amount all at once. That's fantastic. Okay.
Wow.
Another one on this government list is turn on a light. Don't take medication in the dark. You could take the wrong pill. Okay.
My God.
I was going to dunk on that for being a really dumb tip, but then I remembered a true story from my life where once I had a headache in the middle of the day and I walked into the bathroom and without turning on the light, I took 2 Tylenol. And then it turned out I had accidentally taken 2 Tylenol PM. And that made my day different. I remember looking at the bottle after I'd swallowed it and going, oh no, like a real slow motion thing. So I guess I should have used that tip. Okay. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. What I do want to talk about is kind of the other side of the coin of what you talked about. You talked about the idea of people aren't taking their pills enough. Well, there are 2 growing fields in medicine that are tackling the other side of that problem. And I'm just going to briefly talk because I just find this fascinating. One is called inappropriate polypharmacy, and one is called de-prescription. Have you heard of either of these before?
No. New to me.
Inappropriate polypharmacy is the use of excessive or unnecessary medications, often from multiple different sources. So you have a bunch of different doctors and sometimes different pharmacies prescribing different medications all at once. And it increases the risk of adverse drug effects, including falls, cognitive impairment. This is especially important in how it affects people with what's called MCC, or multiple chronic conditions, which happens when we get older, that you just start taking a bunch of pills. And it's actually leading to a new field in that same National Institute of Aging. It's called de-prescribing, which is it's the opposite of prescription. It's really examining the combinations of medications in older adults and how they can cross-pollinate. It sounds like a real pullback from the old approach that we really got into during the 80s, 90s, where it's just throw pills.
Yeah.
Throw
Right.
pills, and when
All the
those
pills
pills
all
give
the
you
time.
problem, put more pills on top of those
Yeah.
to affect that, and more pills, and then sometimes the pills actually cause problems. They create problems that were never there.
That was what the movie Wall Street was about. Pills is good, right? I'm sure that was the speech. Pills is good. More
Yeah,
pills.
they said pills is good, pills works. They've actually opened a US deprescribing research network. And it's made up of doctors and scientists and nurses and working with older adults to do a deep dive on how to streamline the medications that can best help and not crash into each other. And I get a little worried. We have a person in our current administration who's in charge of health, and he's like, "You don't need pills, just eat a bat." You find on the side of the road. Bats have fiber. This has nothing to do with him. And this isn't about just stop taking pills. It's about streamlining the pills, not just throwing pills on pills and pills. And a lot of it is actually devoted to Alzheimer and dementia care. And this is really important because there's one study that was done of 1.2 million community dwelling older adults living with dementia. It was found that they were prescribed psychotropic or opioid medications at rates that far exceeded use by older adults without dementia. You can understand why, but that can really cause serious side effects like falling, overdosing, memory problems, which is already the thing, and real serious stuff, liver, kidneys, all of that. I like the idea of this approach, not to ever go take away pills. My segment is not disagreeing with yours that pills are important. Pills is good. Pills is smart. Pills are what we need. But yeah, there are times when it seems like the sheer amount of daily medications that older adults like me and older adults like family members that I know are taking. I mean, I see family members, if I'm visiting for a long time, sitting at the table and measuring out their medications for the week is like a hobby. Like it is a time commitment. It's a lot.
Yep.
And I'm already taking 5 pills a day.
5 a day.
5 a day. Granted,
Well, I guess,
one is for crazy, one is for anxiety, one is for allergies, and one is finasteride, which is for hair loss. So I'm not really taking like 5 hardcore pills.
Yeah.
And I take finasteride because my mother's, I'd always heard that it's your mother's father.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the hair that you're going to inherit. That's fun. And my Jeep, this is the late G-Pod. He was bald since birth.
Yeah.
Like he just scared hair away. And so when I first moved to LA, I had a friend that was getting, actually, can I tell this story real quick?
Of course.
This is kind of fun. Maybe I'll just end on this because that's what I wanted to talk about. I like the idea of not just throwing pills at stuff. I like the idea of medicine looking at itself and saying pills aren't the answer. Now I want to tell this other story.
Well, and I just want to say, like, there is nothing more gratifying than going to a new physician who sees my pill regimen, and I only talked about one. There are some others. I've got some things going on. There are always things in the background. But to have them say, hey, I see that you're on this thing, and based on the whole of the picture that I'm getting from you, I think there's a route to getting you off them if you want that. Like, to have a physician tell me we can wean you from things that you previously thought you needed, and we can do it in a healthy way is enormously gratifying. Like, how huge is that? Because my assumption is always they'll only want to throw pills at me, not take them away.
Well, that makes you feel like an individual, and it makes you feel like you're seen, even in an office that can be like a conveyor belt of patients.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. A friend of mine who was an actor, he had representation, and he said, I tell this to all of my clients, even though you don't need it, go on finasteride, go on Propecia, because you just want to save what you have. You're an actor. But this is back in the day before, like, for Hims or for Keeps or whatever it's called, where now they're just throwing hair pills and boner pills all over the place. You had to go to a doctor and get a prescription. It was very, very expensive. We didn't have a generic version yet. And so he would get his illegally, and he taught me how to do it. You would get the pills directly from India. And it was finasteride pills that were incredibly cheap. but actual finasteride pills. We hope. And I started doing it because he was like, why not? And it's really cheap, but it was illegal. And
Yeah.
the thing is, you had to pick them up at the post office. You couldn't have them shipped
Brought to your
to
house.
your place. Correct. And so me not understanding that there's actual drug crimes going on, I was convinced every month when I had to pick them up, here's the one. This is the sting operation. And I would sit outside of the post office for like a couple minutes and just see if there was anyone walking in and out with like an earpiece or
Oh
like
my God.
sweeping, because I thought that the police were doing a stakeout to catch me and my hair pills. What an idiot. But I really was like, I'm going to outfox the fox. And I was just sort of checking to see if someone's like sweeping the exact same part of the sidewalk over and over again, or like,
Yeah.
you know, all of that clever, cool earpiece surveillance stuff. So I was a part of a real drug kingpin at a younger age, which is
All
exciting.
hair-related con.
Yeah.
A very
Yeah.
long hair-related con.
And now someone on the internet is like, you want hair pills? And I'm like, yeah. They go,
Yeah.
okay, here's a bunch we found. And then they just show up.
This might be hair pills. It might be the substance. We don't know. Look for Demi.
Yeah, exactly. Now, interestingly, the hair pills are very large and very red. Oh, no.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. Yeah, you gon' need 100.
Thank you all so much for joining us for this episode. This week's tune is Save Yourself by Wavehaven, Frank Bentley, and Anthony Mario. Coming up next week, Tom, what do we got?
We have another grab bag, but they're kind of connected in a nice way. And we both know what we're going to be doing, and we won't be overlapping or anything, because that's never happened. You are going to be talking about learning new things as an adult, memory,
Yes.
and how that all works. And I will be talking about the adulting. Do you make time for hobbies? Do you make time for joy? What do you do as an adult? Or do you just sort of sit in a rocking chair?
Very exciting. I'm going to introduce my bowl.
Oh, the aforementioned bowl, garage
Yeah.
bowl. That's
I'll
very
bring
exciting.
it as a show and tell.
Okay, excellent. Until then, my name is Tommy West III.
And I'm Pete Wright. Thanks for being here. We'll be back next week with all the feelings, adulting.
Save yourself, I think it's best you run away. I won't let you finish. When you came for me, you played yourself. You scream for help, it's a shame that nobody will hit with. No pain, no gain, watch who you bang with. Make it to the top with the same ones I came with. I shoot my shot, you better know that I'ma never miss. When they coming for me, yeah, I'm gonna tell them this.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning.
You can try to say